Hey guys, I'm back again for a video request that I was just reading in the email section. Um, let's see how to present the video right. Um, Excuse me, burping. Hi, Justin explains everything. Life seems like a. Hold on, did he spell it right? Life seems like a cycle of patterns from good to bad, good to bad, good to bad, back and forth for X amount of years 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years, and then you expire. You die. Yes, emailer. Yes, follower. That is true. Um, you're asking if life actually means anything? Like, what's the point of life? Um, Honestly, to give a more philosophical answer to your question, is life meaningless? Does life matter? Is life important? Um, Philosophically, I would say no, it's not important, considering the fact that you're born on this particular date, you live X amount of years, then you expire, you're dead. After that, you're gone. Your legacy could live on. Your legacy could possibly leave knowledge to other people, you know, after you, you know, later generations, future generations, from the time you were born through the time you lived all your life, whether it be 50 years, 60, 70, 100 years. Um, and then you expired, you died. But I guess to answer your question, does your life itself really matter to you, yourself? Um, on the grand scheme of things, considering the planet's been here like what? Earth has been here, I think, like 5 billion. Billion. Not thousand, not million. Billion years. I would say no. In the grand scheme of things, to you, yourself, life is meaningless. You're only here, for most people, less than a century. If you're lucky, 80, 90 years, and then you're gone. So I would say, from that regard, life's meaningless. Um, However, the only catch is that I have, life is not meaningless to the whole universe, the whole system, the planet, the universe, space. And here's why. I'm going to give you the answer why it's not totally meaningless. From the time you're born until the time you die, let's just say hypothetically you live, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say you live 100 years. Say you're born on this date, you live 100 years from the time you're born, and then you die. Let's say during those 100 years, you touch thousands and thousands and thousands of people in your lifetime. It could be your peers, even your elders, younger generations below you that you touch, and give them knowledge and wisdom on life, various different things in life. It could be sports, it could be politics, it could be life in general, how to handle yourself as a gentleman or a female. Um, and you share that wisdom with these people throughout 100 years of your life. 100 years. 100 years of your life. You share all this wisdom. Then you pass away, you die. Now, for you, yourself, yeah, you're gone. That part of you is gone. Your legacy of you, yourself, is gone. But that legacy that you leave behind, the knowledge, the trail of knowledge, wisdom, um, and just a way of life could touch thousands, even millions, even billions of people throughout the course of history just by sharing your knowledge and wisdom with those people. It could touch lots of people and change their lives and then their ancestors' lives and their you know their their all of their families' lives you could change by touching maybe 1,000 people. You touch 1,000 people, you give them some knowledge. Those 1,000 people's going to spread that knowledge to thousands more people, and their children's going to grow up, learn from the people that they learned from, their parents, their ancestors, their aunts, uncles, grandparents. So you're basically spreading wealth across the board of knowledge. If you lived a life where, let's say, you was a very wise man or wise woman, and you shared a lot of great information with several people throughout your 100 years of life, and after you pass away, that wisdom's going to still carry on and on. It's going to spread like this, keep spreading, 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 wider, wider. More people's going to learn from your original blueprint. I'll call it a blueprint that you gave. So, for yourself, yes, I guess you could say personally for yourself, your life is kind of meaningless. You're here, let's even say 100 years, which isn't that long. You die, you're gone, you've moved on to something else. So, from that point of view, yes, for personally, life is not really that important. But on the grand scope of life, for all of mankind, all of the females, all the men on the planet, if you live 100 years or whatever, and you did amazing things during those 100 years, taught people a lot of things that they didn't know, maybe made groundbreaking discoveries that was never discovered, that's going to carry on through history of life. As long as the planet, as long as mankind exists, your knowledge will carry on and on a really broad scope. So the question that you ask, it's kind of one of those tricky questions where life, is it meaningless? Is it trivial? Is it pointless for ourselves personally? On a personal level, an individual level. Individual level is the best word. Again, yes, I would say it's very trivial because we're only here for so long and we can only accomplish so much in such a short amount of time. Like I said, if you're lucky, you'll live to be 100. So many people die in their 60s, 70s, 80s. So they don't even get to experience a full century of life. And if you're lucky and you live a full century, 100 plus years, and you do a lot of great things during your life, maybe create something that was never created before, and come up with a new philosophy on how to deal with something challenging or difficult or unsolvable. Now it is solvable because you were a part of this world. Yes, you will impact the planet in a positive way, and your legacy will carry on and on and on. Now, that doesn't mean everybody on the planet's going to remember your name, remember what you looked like, or know anything about your personal life, but your knowledge will spread. So basically, in a way, your identity will spread across the globe by sharing your knowledge with people for 100 years of life. I just want to do a quick thing on my grandfather who passed away just a couple of months ago. He actually passed away on Halloween of this year, October 31st. He was 100 years old. Exactly 100. 100 plus 7, 8 months. He accomplished so much. He was a college president, used to co-own Sylvan Learning Center, um, businessman, had several business ventures in his life, and he touched thousands of people in his life. He's no longer here anymore. He's gone. He passed away a couple of months ago. But during his 100 years on Earth here, he made an impact that will most likely carry on and on and on for decades to come. The knowledge that he was able to spread and share with people will carry on. So in a way, he himself will carry on. The message, the knowledge, the information that he shared with people will carry on and on and on. Probably well beyond my lifetime, well beyond my children's lifetime. His knowledge will carry and it will continue to spread. So, from that regard, I would say life is not meaningless from the grand picture, the globe. Your life isn't meaningless. Personally, as an individual, yes. Is it kind of meaningless? Yeah, sort of is, because like I said, we're only here so long. But our knowledge that we spread is worth probably a lot more than ourselves, way more than ourselves. So if you could spread the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge, not the wealth of money, but the wealth of knowledge, I think you've done a great job in your life. I think you've done an amazing ass-kicking job in your life. And to finish things off, guys, the most important thing in life is do your best. Sometimes life sucks. I've experienced it lately. Life has been a pain in the ass. But you got to get back up. You got to work. You got to fight. You got to maintain your composure. And things will get better for you. Things will get better. Maybe not when you want them to get better. Maybe you want things to get better tomorrow or next week, and it might not happen. But yeah, life in general is very fragile. It's very fragile. It can be taken from you in the snap of a finger. So, just remember, life's not meaningless. It's not pointless in the totality of it. The totality of what you are worth. Your knowledge that you share with people is worth way more than you yourself. Way more than you yourself. The knowledge that you share. Just always remember that. And, don't, try not to pity yourself and be down on yourself. Just be up. Try to be up here instead of down here with your emotions. It's easy to get sad, depressed, angry, yell at people. It's so easy to do that. Really easy. I do it all the time. But the challenging part is keeping your composure and just doing the best you can and trying to help people to the most of your abilities. Obviously some of us are limited to what we can do. Some of us don't have the same resources, money, connections that other people have. But just try to do the best that you can. If you can help one person out, just one person on the planet, you've done better than before you were born. Remember that. If you can help one person, you've done better than before you were born. I'm going to keep it at that, guys. And I'm going to call this a stream or a video. I'm used to doing streams. And call it a night as well. Peace out, everybody.